Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am here with the explanation of the poem The Road Not Taken. So it is a poem of grade 9th from the book Beehive, and the poet name is Robert Frost. So as you all know that Robert Frost, he is an American poet who writes simply but insightfully about common ordinary experiences, means real life situations. So this well-known poem is all about making choices in our life and the choices that impact our entire life, that shapes our future. Okay, now I will read the stanzas and along with that I will tell the meaning as well. So let's begin. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I couldn't travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. So yes, in the first stanza, the poet was walking down the road when he found a diversion, means where the road is getting diverged in two ways, where two roads diverge in different directions. And the poet felt sorry that he couldn't travel on both the roads. As you also, suppose you have two choices in your life, but you can choose only one. You cannot make both the choices together. Okay, so similarly, he had to make one decision and choose a single path. Okay, so and be one traveler, long I stood. So at the junction, at the center of that, the poet stood for a long time and tried to look at the roads as far as he could. He wanted to see the roads in full till the last, and he wanted to know about both paths, but he could not see anything beyond the diversion as the roads were curved and covered with trees. Okay, so it is given to where it bent in the undergrowth. So because the road was curved later, so he couldn't be able to see till last. Okay, so in this stanza you can see the word the yellow wood. The yellow wood refers to the forest with leaves which were shed on the road and had turned yellow, and this indicates that it was autumn season. Through this stanza, the poet wants to convey that in everyone's life there comes a time, whether you or whether I. So there comes a time when we have to make choices. We have alternatives, but we have to choose only one. We can take only one choice. We can make only one decision. At that time, what we do? What we usually do? We see the pros and cons of the situation and take the time to decide which path to take. So always be careful while making the choices, because that will impact your entire life. Similarly, the poet is also taking time before making any decision. Okay. Now, second stanza, then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. So after looking at both the roads, after pondering on it for a long time, the poet decided to take the other road. He felt that both roads were equally good. He started walking on the road which had grass, which was grassy, on which there were a lot of grass, and felt that it was a better road for him. The grassy road means that the road which was less used, which was not used. Because of that, the grass will be able to be there. And the wanted wear means that only a few people have walked through it. Okay. So after walking some distance on the road, the poet felt that both paths were almost the same, means both the roads were almost the same. The first one as well as the another one which he chose. Which one he chose? One which were grassy. Okay, so there was hardly any difference between them. Through this, the poet conveys the message that in our life whatever decisions we take or choices we make, each choices has some advantages and some disadvantages. So problems are everywhere in everyone's life. So you must be ready to face them. Then only you will be able to overcome the problems. Okay? So the poet says that both the paths seem to be similar that morning. Okay, now moving on to the third stanza. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. So the poet says that both the roads, both the paths seemed to be similar that morning. Both were looking same. Leaves were shed on both the roads. Okay, so there were leaves lying on both the roads and they were still green. So the color of the leaves were still green. It means that no one had walked on the roads. Okay, so when the leaves will be green? When no one had walked on them. So he decided to take one path that day and he decided that on another day he will take the other path. But you tell, is it possible to take the another path? Once you will choose one path, then it is not possible to go back and take the another path later. So however, he was also aware. He knows that one way leads to another way. He couldn't go back and take the other path once he moved ahead with one. So once you will move ahead with one situation, you will move ahead with one decision, you cannot take that decision back. You cannot step back and then you cannot choose the another path. So similarly, again the poet is comparing this with our life situation, with our real life situation, that in our life, when we make one decision, we can't go back. We have to move ahead with the same choice, with the same decision and face the consequences which come our way. Okay? So, now the next stanza is, I shall be telling this with a sign, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Okay, so the poet says that in the future, whenever he will stand in such a situation, so he will take a deep breath and say that once upon a time he reached a point in life where he had to make one choice. So there were two options for him and he had to opt for one. Okay, anyone can opt for one only at a time. At that time he decided to take that road which was less traveled by people. So you also, whenever you take any decision, listen to your heart, look for your situation. Don't only follow the path because others are following. Okay? You have to look for your situation. You have to take the decision from your heart, from your own. Because later on, you are the only one who has to face all the consequences. Okay? It means that he took a decision which rare people take. And that decision has changed his entire life. So, sometime in your life also, you have to choose the path which others were not taking. But that can make a difference in your life. So, through this poem, the poet sends a powerful message that people should decide wisely in their life because the decision they take will have an impact on the rest of their life. Okay, so this was all about the summary of this poem, The Road Not Taken, which is one of my favorite poem, and it is based on everyone's real life situation. So please watch this video till the end and thanks for watching.